we go. Just gonna go ahead and start going live everywhere else. And please go ahead, and if you would like to talk about what I have on the board, like to answer any other questions, would definitely appreciate you. All right, so we got 3 questions on the board for tonight. Why should I believe in a God? If hell is torture, why do I deserve that? And if heaven doesn't exist, would you still be a good person? Those are the 3 questions that we're going to be asking tonight. Doesn't matter what you believe in, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, whatever you are. I'd like for us to discuss these 3 questions that we have on the board. Let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and drop some gifts as well. I'm going to go ahead and put some gifts up. All right, y'all. So if y'all see it, and if you're watching me over on the other platforms, if you're watching me over on like YouTube or anything like that, what's up, Tiny? If you're watching me over on YouTube or Twitch, the link to join is right up here, tiny.cc/Volsy Live. You can come up and you can talk to me up on the panel. What's going on, Tiny? I'm here, man. I got to make sure that I go live this week, because next week I won't be around. It's gonna be family time. All right. So the rules of my live is, if you say something in the comments where you either answer one of the questions or you want to ask me a question, I'm just gonna go ahead and invite you up, because it's best that we actually talk to each other. What's up? What's going on, Sandra? What's up? Tap that screen, y'all. Tap that screen. Mo Fit, go ahead and come on up. All right, y'all. And please go ahead and, of course, repost this, reshare it, send this out everywhere. Tap that screen. We're at the 1,000 likes. I do appreciate that. We're at the 1,000 likes. I do appreciate that. I don't know who Ortho is, so not sure who you're talking about. All right, once again, y'all. So if you say something in the comments, either answering one of the questions or Orthodox Muslim, yeah, that wasn't a very good conversation. The thing is, I have one of those issues, right? Like I have a speech impediment, and not only that, like if you kind of interrupt a lot, I'm gonna lose my spot. You know what I mean? I'll rather us have like a calmer conversation than that. I'll talk to Orthodox Muslim again, because I don't think either of us got our points out. We're just reacting to each other. You know what I mean? But if you want to talk to me, go ahead and come up and talk to me. Don't just glaze Ortho. Come up and talk to me. We'll have a conversation instead of just glazing somebody else. Let me know what you think. And once again, guys, if you would like to talk about what I have on the board, go ahead and come on up. Go ahead and guys, go ahead and tap that screen. Yeah, I don't mind talking to Ortho again. It's just that I think that that day we were just kind of reacting to each other instead of actually trying to speak to each other. You know what I mean? And trying to understand each other's position. All right, let me pause this real quick. Hey, how's it going? What do I call you?
I don't know. I just wanted to say, why would you say that? Like,
wait, hold on. I need to know what to call you. I need to know your age. Like, can I have a name, please?
Oh, I'm 18. You could just call me T, I guess.
All right.
If you would.
All right, cool.
All right,
T.
if hell would be.
So which no, I'm all good. All right. So T18. Which number did you want to talk about?
Why would you say you deserve it? Because it says, why do I deserve that? I will say as in you, right?
Yeah. Do you think hell is a place of torture?
I mean, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, from what I hear about it, and from I got you.
So hell is
Scripture versions of it.
Understood. Okay, cool. So hell is a place of torture, and if I don't believe in the particular God that you believe in, would I be going there?
I would say no.
So
I would say everybody's open to their own beliefs, in my opinion.
Right, everybody's open to their own beliefs. What I'm asking is that for you, the particular God that you believe in, I'm not sure if you're Christian or Muslim or something else. Are you Christian or Muslim or something else?
I don't even know. I'm been struggling with that. I wouldn't even call myself as a Christian. I really wouldn't. So.
All right, let's do this. Is Jesus your Lord and personal Savior?
No.
No, but you believe in a God.
Yes.
You do believe in a God. All right.
So a higher power.
You believe in you believe in a higher power. All right.
No,
so
not really a higher power, but a God. It's just I have to get closer to that God. I have to I get it.
I get it. Okay. So cool. So this God that you believe in, this source or higher power or whatever you like to call it, does it send people to heaven or hell? Like, is there a heaven or hell at all? Because hell is more of an Abrahamic concept, like for Christians and Muslims. So, but if you believe in a higher power, does that mean that the heaven and hell exist? And what are the rules to go to those places if that's the case? T, do you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm trying to think about it.
Okay.
So the rules for I've been trying to do more research about it because I don't know. There's trying to get more open into my beliefs. I would say, I guess, is what it is. I've been trying to feel more comfortable in my own beliefs. I guess is what it is.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, you can feel uncomfortable in your own beliefs. It's just
when I come to debate sometimes, I don't even feel like people want to listen. I feel like I'll be wrong just because I don't have the proper I would say cause I do a lot of research, but I would say when I come up, I don't know. I lose myself. Train of thought, I guess.
Okay, I'm just trying to ascertain your beliefs because it seems you don't fall between the Christian and Muslim realm. Like you're not in the Abrahamic realm because you said Jesus isn't your Lord and personal Savior, which is fine, right? Do you think Allah is true? Like Muhammad was his last prophet, anything like that?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay, so you're more of a Muslim then?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, cool. So according to the Quran, as far as what I know, not believing in Allah means and not accepting Muhammad as his last messenger, that would put me on the path to hell, right? At least according to what the Quran says. All right, cool.
According to the Quran.
All right, cool. So the question then becomes,
according to the Quran, I would say so. Yeah.
I got you. Cool. So the question then becomes, why do I deserve that? Because for me, I don't see any evidence that Allah is true or that Muhammad was a prophet.
So what would you say you believe in?
I don't believe in a God at all. Yeah, I don't believe in the supernatural. I don't believe in the afterlife. I think we die.
What would that be then? Would it be a specific category of religion or something for that, or name for that?
Yeah, I'm an atheist. I'm agnostic atheist. I don't believe in a God at all. So, according to the Bible and the Quran, people like myself are on our way to hell. However, the thing is, though, we just don't believe in this story or don't believe in the claim.
So just don't it exists or something, I guess.
Right, exactly. We just don't accept the claim that this is real. You know what I mean? So, the question then becomes, if according to what Christians and a lot of Muslims say, is that hell is a place of torture. If that's the case, why do I deserve that for simply not believing? That's what the question is. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, okay, I understand. I would say, I don't really have an answer for you, to be honest. I would just say if you just utterly don't believe at all, then I would just say that's gonna I guess whenever the day comes, I guess then you'll just figure it out. I really do believe, because if you just utterly don't have no other beliefs of any God or even the idea of hell, or the idea of hell, that you can even go there, then I would say that's just hard for me to say that you deserve to go there, just for saying you don't even have a belief of it or any God. You feel me?
Right. Okay. All right. So that's fair. All right. So what about the question number 3? If heaven didn't exist, do you think that you will still be a good person if there wasn't any type of heavenly reward?
Fuck no.
You wouldn't be a good person?
Oh, I'll be a great person.
Yeah, so you'll still be a good person even if heaven wasn't a thing, right? Even if heaven didn't exist.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So see, this is my entire point why I like to have these conversations. So if you will still be a good person without heaven, what would be the point of heaven then? What do you think is the point of heaven?
I ask myself that too.
All All right.
Like I really do. Like the whole point of it, because yeah, I ask myself,
All right, cool. I mean, it's fair to ask yourself that. How about question number one? Why do you think I should believe in any God?
um, I would say you don't really say that. Like I would say you like necessarily shouldn't need to, but it could be. I guess nice to put your belief in some type of God. I would say like just to have that. Like I guess constantly. I would say not really comfort feeling, but I guess just a some sort of a understanding of some sort. I guess so. Like not really like just. Or maybe just do a little bit of research of like, or just trying to have some type of belief of a God of like just something like maybe I couldn't really tell you why you should. I guess because I hate to try to put people in like a position where they should. I guess
Yeah, yeah.
like try to procast. You know.
Yeah. So the I mean, it's not about like you trying to force me. It's more on
Okay.
the basis of like for example, I'm a person like just
Who
to,
just doesn't even believe in it though.
right, right.
So like,
Let me just explain what I'm
okay,
talking about, right?
my bad.
I'm a person where like let's say for society, I think we should have like universal health care, right? I think like the healthcare should be nationalized, like everybody should have access to it,
Yeah,
stuff like
that's
that, right?
fair.
And the reason why I believe that is because when we look at every other country, we see that, or every other industrialized country that's wealthy like ours, they have that and they have better health outcomes than we do. And not only
That
that,
is
people
fair.
in America go through medical debt, and I don't think people should be sick and have to go through all this debt just because they got sick. You see what I'm saying? So I think it should be
Yeah.
universal, and these are the reasons why I think that if someone were to ask me, why do you think universal healthcare, or why should I believe in universal care, or why should I support universal healthcare? I would give these reasons. These because it would be better for everybody. We will all be able to access it. It will cost less than what we're doing now. It'll work better. Stuff like that. These are the reasons I would give why that person should believe it. So
Okay. So
when I ask why should I believe in God, I want the person to like give me a little
okay.
bit of
Yeah.
evidence of why should
Well,
I
I
accept the
would just,
position.
well, I would agree with your whole claim that you just made with the whole universal health care. I would say that yeah, that could be very beneficial for us too, because yeah, not all places do it and do have a better outcome for health and do have way better like
Right,
when it
right.
comes to just overall
Exactly.
like just
Yeah. So
everything.
that was just
So,
an
yeah.
example. But like when it comes to the whole God thing, that's the same thing. I would ask people
Then
the same type of thing, like, what's the reason? You know what I mean?
yeah,
See what I mean? T?
yeah.
All right, cool. All right. So if you want to go ahead and think about it more, that's fine. I
All
appreciate the
right,
conversation. You have a good night. All right.
all right. You too.
No problem.
My bad.
No, all good. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and keep it rolling, keep it moving. We do have MK on the stage. MK, give me a second. All right, everybody. Shout out to everybody. I do appreciate y'all for being here. If you're watching me from Deconstruction Junction, go ahead and come on up. The link is pinned in the description. I do see a few people in the comments asking me, telling me why I deserve hell. Yeah, I'm not reading all the comments. Just go ahead and click on that link, come up, and we'll speak. Joshua, Diva. I'm just going down the list. I do see y'all comments, right? But I'm not reading them right now. So if you want to go ahead and talk to me, the link is pinned. Go ahead and click on that, and you can go ahead and come up. It's not an app that you have to download. It's just a website. You don't have to show your face, nothing like that. You'll just come over to the website and we'll talk. All right. If you're watching me over on Volsy Thoughts, once again, thank you so much to my mods, to hear, Resist, Waweed, Libra. Thank y'all so much for modding tonight. I appreciate y'all for being here. And if you're watching me over on the Bash channel, thank y'all so much for being there as well. You guys are wonderful. We're gonna go ahead and keep it moving. We're gonna talk to MK. K, I'm gonna go one-on-one tonight. All right, just give me a second. MK, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
I'm at least 18. Yeah.
All right, cool. Which number did you want to talk about?
Well, I've got an answer for one and two.
One and two. All right, cool. Let's start off with do you have a particular God belief? Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Zoroaster?
I'm Christian.
Christian, great. All right, cool. So we're gonna talk about the Christian God. Why do you think I should believe in that one?
Well, um, well, I guess if the Christian God were true, then your eternal life and your salvation is at stake. And that's be the reason as to why I believe in it. If the Christian God were true, that means that He loves you quite unconditionally and wants you to be saved from eternal damnation, which is on the back of your sin. And he's given us a plan for your sin, and if you don't accept this payment plan that He's put out on His website, then unfortunately there is eternal separation from Him after this life, which is hellfire.
All right, so we have to subscribe to Godflix in order for us to not suffer eternal hellfire. Here's the thing. I need to know that Godflix actually exists first before I actually accept that. So what do we do to actually show that this God exists? Because let me give you an example. If I were to tell you that I have $10 billion in the Bahamas, quit your job, leave the UK, go to Bahamas, and I'll meet you there and I'll give you $50 million. Are you going to believe me just because I said so?
No,
right.
Claim, yeah,
exactly.
No, really.
So that's kind of the position that I'm in right now. Like, I don't see any reason to believe that story. So it's more of like, first you would, I understand everything that you said, right? If it's true, et cetera, but doing the heavy lifting there is this phrase, if it's true. How do we show this is true?
Okay, so if the Christian God were true, I'd see that the Christian God. Well, to say, do you believe in it? Before I start, do you believe in a God or some sort of necessary being?
No.
Can I ask why? Is it because you don't have any evidence?
I don't have any evidence, correct?
Okay. That's quite interesting. So, how do you believe that we are to be?
How do I believe we are to be? I'm not sure. What you're asking.
Yeah. So, how do you think that you are? I don't know. How do you think we have come forth or have come about?
Oh, like humanity? Yeah, we evolved, right?
Evolved from what?
We evolved from prior organisms. As far as we know, life started, or at least the diversity of life started from single cell organisms. How did life itself start is still a mystery, but abiogenesis may be the answer. I'm not an expert there, so I won't be able to give you all the details.
Do you think we came from pond scum?
Hey, hold on, Homofire. It's not your turn yet. Give me a second, okay? All right. So, yeah, MK. So when it comes to that, right? Like that may be the answer, but I'm not sure. Like, what is this? Where does this lead to? What? Like, you just asked me what I think humanity can.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand your position, but anyway, obviously, I don't really believe in macroevolution. I don't think that's ever been observed in reality.
Like evolution above the species level.
Yeah, that's never been observed in reality.
That's been observed.
We don't have any evidence of it.
No, that's been observed. Have you heard of Richard Linsky? Let me bring up the experiment. Macroevolution in a lab. I think his name was Richard Linsky.
As in a species turning into a different species? That's what I necessarily mean by macroevolution.
Yeah.
If that isn't the case, then
they became a different species, because you know what species is, right?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. They've been able to demonstrate it. What was his name? Lab. I think his name was Linsky. I need to find that. Gotta find that. Oh yeah, the E. coli experiment. Yeah, the E. coli long-term experiment. Where they studied it. Richard Linsky, that's his name. Yeah, the E. coli long-term experiment where they were able to see that the E. coli became different species. That's been observed. Because species are just things that can't reproduce with one another. Yeah, I mean, like a penguin and a pigeon are different species of bird, right?
Correct.
Right. So yeah, we've been able to see that in the lab with E. coli.
E. coli. These well, that's a study that I haven't seen before. So I guess I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on it. But anyway, I do think that abiogenesis is quite illogical. It's not been observed either not something that we've ever seen ever. So
No,
I don't
correct. We've never
think.
seen it. No, that part's correct. We've never seen abiogenesis. That is correct. It's just that we're trying to get to what as far as what the history of life on Earth shows us. We've seen through the fossil record things get simpler and simpler and simpler until we get to single cell organisms and researching how those single cell organisms could have came about. I think the best we have is the Miller. Well, that's not the best experiment that we have. We have more experience than the Miller Urey. I just can't. I'm not an expert in that, so I'm not being able to tell you. But you think that abiogenesis would be illogical? I mean, all that is good and all that is fine, right? But it wouldn't really tell me why to believe in a God.
Yeah. So if we know that abiogenesis isn't logical and isn't something that can be observed or has been observed, and just something that isn't in reality at all.
Right. And the thing is, there are things that you won't directly observe, but are true.
It's fine. But if I'm saying it's illogical, that means it's not real.
How do you know that? How did you disprove it?
Abiogenesis.
Right. How did you disprove it?
Yeah. So abiogenesis would be a non-living thing.
Mm-hmm.
A non-living thing somehow or in some way gaining, becoming living and gaining some sort of consciousness that is able to discern between beauty, rationality, and natural instinct.
Not necessarily. You're skipping a lot of steps.
Yo, when can I talk?
Home fry. As you can see, there's a timer here, right?
I'm not going to sit here for 8 fucking minutes.
Okay, cool. All right. So, when it comes to abiogenesis, right? Like,
if you think we came from single-celled organisms, you're crazy.
When it comes to abiogenesis,
because there's not even two-celled organisms.
You're kind of like skipping. You're kind of skipping a lot of steps there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not that with abiogenesis, it's like life single-cell organisms kind of pop up, and all of a sudden they're experiencing sentience and beauty and stuff like that. Abiogenesis is basically non-living matter to living matter and how that happens, right? But living matter could be single cell organisms and stuff like that. Single cell organisms don't necessarily abstract or think; they just kind of try to survive, right?
Yeah. So, and that's kind of my point. So, it does lead into a segue as to why I believe in God. It's a different segue, but yeah. So even if we have single cell organisms, they are still organic, which makes them living.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not in the same way that we live, obviously having a mind and some sort and being quite complex. But single cell organisms are still organisms that are living. We haven't, because non-living things don't have any rationality or have any potentiality to become something else. Then that will necessarily mean, or it could become something else by itself, then it will necessarily mean that abiogenesis isn't capable, or it just doesn't happen.
I don't think I understand what you're saying here. You're basically kind of saying that because I can't picture it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I said because non-living organisms, say a rock, for example, has no potentiality to act upon itself, that necessarily means that it has no potentiality to change by itself. And if abiogenesis is true, then that will mean that a rock has some sort of potentiality to change by itself, and that's not the case.
That's not what it says. So, because abiogenesis is not on itself. It's in a certain environment where chemical reactions happen. Right. So, like, if you put a rock in the middle of the desert, of course, it's not going to do anything, right? But if you put a rock into like a volcanic vent, you know what I mean, under the ocean, and lightning is striking the pond, like organic reactions, chemical reactions are going to happen, right? So it's not just all by itself. There are things that are happening around out. They are basically like heat, energy exchange, stuff like that. Things are happening for these things to happen, right? It's not the rock acting upon itself. That's not what's going on.
Okay, so these chemical reactions, and even the example that you just gave of, lightning striking, I don't know what you said, like a volcano or something, or rock in a volcano. All these things are just examples of non-living matter. Okay, so and that's why I said that non-living matter has no potentiality to act upon itself, to be something else. There is no substantial change, or there is no substantial change that is intrinsic to this matter for it to gain this immaterial mind, for example. So this, because what you're saying is that these material things is somehow able to, through chemical reactions, to gain immaterial things. That doesn't make any sense.
That makes plenty of sense, because this is chemistry that we're talking about, right? Like, this is
immaterial.
Hold on, this is chemistry that we're talking about, where like these things are like very, very deep science that neither of us are qualified to kind of say. But when we're talking about like chemical reactions, right? Lightning happens on its own. You know what I'm saying? Like, volcanoes happen on their own. You know, so like these things happen on their own, right? These are not natural events. But what we're saying is that if what you're saying was true, the Miller-Urey experiment wouldn't have come up with organic material. And in the Miller-Urey experiment, we did see organic material. You know what I'm saying? So like, if we're just saying it's true that chemical reactions won't actually do these things, we wouldn't see organic material within these experiments, but we do. So how would you explain that?
So what's your position? One, but the first part is in my brain. But the second part, I want to understand. So, do you believe in abiogenesis? Because you said it wasn't observable, or do you believe in it? Confused.
It's not directly observable, but as far as what I can ascertain, there is a lot more evidence for it than just a God.
Interesting. So, do you believe that chemical reactions, things that are, material and can cause material change, can now cause something that is, or has causal power to bring about something that is immaterial?
What does that mean?
Can, like, chemical reactions cause a mind? I'm asking you.
Yeah, that's what our brain is.
Your brain is an organ. I'm asking you, your mind is immaterial.
Our mind is immaterial. Our brain is an organ, and there's chemical reactions happening in our brain.
So is your mind material, immaterial?
Our mind is immaterial, but our brain, the material thing, the things that's causing chemical reactions, is where our mind comes from.
Yeah, so your brain is a faculty in which your mind comes from,
or
which your mind is grounded in. But again, your mind is immaterial. So because your mind,
it's immaterial, but the chemical reactions in our brain is what's causing it.
What's causing your mind?
Yeah, you can't detect the mind without a brain. That's never happened.
Okay, so when people are, I don't know, let's say dead. Am I allowed to use that word?
Yeah, you could use that.
Okay. When people are, dead, and there's cases where they have, resuscitated and come back to life after, I don't know, like 5 minutes, which there is a case of a man coming back to life after 10 minutes, which is quite crazy.
And then was he brain dead?
If you're dead, I'm sure that you're just dead.
No, like they can declare you clinically dead, like your heart stopped. But if your brain is still working, you're not brain dead. But no one's has ever come back from brain death. That's never happened.
Interesting. But either way, a mind that is immaterial, okay, even though it's within the brain, or has been functioned or sustained by the brain, okay, with synapses and electrical impulses and such and such and such, doesn't necessarily mean that it is the material causing the immaterial.
All right, so you're saying that just because our brain has chemical reactions and we've never been able to take the mind without the brain, we've never been able to take consciousness without the brain, it's not the brain causing it.
Yeah, so consciousness. Yeah, so I would go as far to say that I would go as far to say that is God that is sustaining it, because the brain is just chemical reactions and such, but a mind is far more complex.
How do you know that that God is causing it? Because you have to show that God exists first. You just can't say that God is causing it. I can easily say that it's not the God that you believe in, it's the God that the Yorubas believe in, Olodumare. How would we tell the difference?
Eledumare. It's Eledumare.
Yeah, Olodumare. That's an actual God in the Yoruba religion.
Eledumare.
Yeah,
Olu is different.
Olodumare. That's an actual God in the Yoruba religion. You know, there's other religions out there, right?
And I know about Yoruba,
right?
Nigerian.
Okay.
So it's Eledumare.
All right. Okay. Cool. So, you're Nigerian then?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. So yeah. So I can easily say it is that. As a matter of fact, you being Nigerian is even worse because like wasn't Orisha worship way before Christianity?
So
yeah. So why are you giving up our spiritual heritage for some foreigners?
Are you Nigerian?
I have 14%. I descend from Nigeria. Most of it is Benin. I'm like 30% Benin. I'm from slave trade. You know about that. So like 33% Benin. I have like 14-15% Nigeria. I definitely have Igbo. You see the head? So I definitely have Igbo.
That's not Igbo. That's I can say it's Igbo too.
Bro, I have the knot, bro. I have the knot. I definitely have Igbo with me. So now that I'm Haitian, a lot of Igbos were sent to Haiti. So it's but yeah. So like I would say why would we give up our own spiritual heritage for some foreigners?
Okay, so interesting how you say foreigners, but
yeah, Jesus is a foreign God, bro. He's not from Africa.
Yeah, I know. It's just interesting. Mm-hmm. So all these things, spiritual ancestry and spiritual, religions and stuff, has no bearings on me because, quite frankly, I don't really care. But the main reason is because all these things are quite mythological, and the belief in the Christian God is quite rational, and that's why I say we should believe in it. That's why it is rational.
So let me ask you this question: what is rational about believing that the uber galactic super wizard created the universe, picked an average sized galaxy, and then picked a small planet and then pick some goat herders in the desert in order to give his message, and then flooded the earth, and then have people ancestrally create more humans, and then hundreds of years later impregnate a teenager to give birth to himself, and then sacrifice himself to himself to create a loophole for the rules that he created himself. How's that rational?
Was it interesting that well you shown that you don't really understand Christian theology, which is not an issue. Most people don't.
I grew up as a Christian, bro. That's literally what it is.
That's not what it is.
Okay, so
you just said I'm going to explain to you how
God
it's
created the universe, right?
No, that part's correct.
Okay, God created the universe. The Milky Way galaxy is an average size galaxy. Is that correct?
Sure. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that's not God.
Okay, so Earth is a small planet in an average solar system, right?
Doesn't express how God's not rational. But
okay, cool. Okay, we're just going through the line. All right, didn't God pick a bunch of goat herders in the desert to give his message? Because that's what Abraham was. Abraham was a goat herder in the desert.
Okay.
What
message did Abraham give?
He got the message that his children would lead the nations or whatever, will lead nations back to God, all that good stuff. So okay, cool. So that's what he gave it to Abraham, who was a goat herder in the desert, and then he flooded the world, didn't he, with Noah?
No, Abraham is actually after Noah.
Abraham is after Noah. No, wait, is Abraham before or after Noah? Hold on,
he's after Noah.
Is Abraham before or after Noah? Abraham is after Noah. Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, my bad. I got that mixed up. Abraham was after Noah.
That's fine.
No, you're correct. Okay, cool. Abraham was after Noah. Now, what actually makes it worse because like what okay, so he picked the world and then he flooded the world with Noah, and then Noah's children incestually created more people in order for us to get to Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
What's rational about this?
What's not rational about it?
There's no reason. There's no reason. There's no reason to do that.
How do you know there's no reason?
Because why would he need to flood the world?
Yeah, so there's a reason. So if you read Genesis, I believe in Genesis chapter 4 and 3, where God looks down upon the children of men,
and they were all evil, yada yada yada. Cool. Yeah. Why not just send Jesus?
No.
What do you mean no?
He didn't want to.
Why not just send Jesus?
He didn't want to. Well, no. Well, the reason is because he said in his word that when you look upon the children of men, he says that their heart was totally inclined towards evil. So
did he know that?
Yes, he said it.
All right, I'm asking is, did he know that before that happened?
Do you know that was going to happen? Of course.
Okay, so there's no reason.
How was there no reason if he knew it was going to happen?
If he knew it was going to happen, there's no point of doing any of this.
Why
would he set this up? There's no point of any of this. Why would he set that up? That seems sadistic, actually. As a matter of fact, I know these people are going to be sinful and hateful, but I'm going to create them anyway and then kill them. That sounds crazy.
Yeah. So God's foreknowledge, okay, has nothing to do with the actions of man. Okay. So God, knowing what someone's going to do, doesn't necessarily will never negate his nature to be righteous and to judge sin. So think about it.
It's pointless and it gives us no free will because we can't do anything that he doesn't know.
It doesn't make any sense. And the reason why it doesn't make any sense.
Did God know that I was gonna wear this blue hat?
Yes.
Can I make God wrong?
No.
Then I had no choice but to wear the blue hat. I have no free will.
I don't. That's not. I'm not a deterministic theologian here. I don't believe in
you don't believe in free will. All right, cool. Not a problem.
I don't.
All right, cool. I gotta go ahead and get out of here. But I do appreciate you. No, we're out of time. But I do appreciate you though. Go ahead and come back as soon as you can. All right. Okay. Well, I'll be back tomorrow, so we can go ahead and talk more. All right. I appreciate you.
Yo, can you hear me?
All right. Give me 1 second, special ed. Give me 1 second. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, guys. I do appreciate y'all for being here. Hey, Cash Money, go ahead and come on up. All right, guys. If you're watching me over from the Deconstruction Junction, once again, I do appreciate you. The link is pinned. I again, if you're talking to me, I'm not reading the comments. I'm not going to be able to tell you or answer any questions right now. If you're watching me over on Valsy Thoughts, for the person who rebuked me, sure, I guess, go ahead and come on up and we could go ahead and still talk. And if you're watching me over on Valsy Thoughts, once again, thank y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate y'all. If you're watching me from the Bash, thank you so much. The Black Atheist, Skeptics, and Humanist channel. I do appreciate you there. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all. We're going to go ahead and keep on talking. Cash, like I said, you can go ahead and come on up and then we can go ahead and have that discussion. All right. Right now, I have on the stage Special Ed. Special Ed, go ahead and turn on. You can turn on your camera now. I'm not a camera. I'm sorry. Turn on your mic. Special Ed, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm 29. And let me see. We could talk about number 3. I wanted to talk about general creation in general, but yeah, we can talk about number 3.
All right, cool. Hey, just to let you know, your background is pretty loud and you sound far away.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, give me like 30 seconds. Give me like 30 seconds. I'm gonna take off my headphones.
All right, cool. Like just get closer to your mic and your background's pretty loud. So try to get to a quiet area. All right. All right. Hey, Soul Theory. I'm gonna get to you in a second. Let me just talk to Special Ed real quick. And
take your time.
All right, cool.
Take your time.
Then me and you go ahead. All right. Special ed. Let me know when you're back, please. All right, y'all. We're just waiting for my guest right here. Special time. Oh, sorry about that. Special ed.
Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you way better now. Thank you so much.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. It's no problem. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going out in the city real quick. Yeah.
Gotcha. Give me 1 second. Prince, give me a few minutes. You're in a queue. I'm gonna talk to Soul Theory first, and then you. All right, Special Ed. How's it going? I'm gonna go ahead and put a few minutes on the clock. All right, cool.
Yeah.
You said you want to talk about number 3. If heaven doesn't exist, would you still be a good person?
Would I still be a good person, or actually, I may have misread. I thought it said would God still be good?
Oh no,
would you still be a good person? Absolutely not. I'd be a shitbag.
All right, so you're only doing immoral things because you're gonna get a reward?
So personally, I only do moral things because that's what my faith is to do.
Okay.
But
and if you didn't have this faith, do you think you'll go around hurting, kidnapping children, raping women? You'll do that because you don't believe in a God anymore?
I wouldn't rape children, and I wouldn't rape women and kidnap children, but I'd definitely kill people and rob people.
Why?
I mean, that's what people do in general. Like that's what people like. If you look in like history, like people rob and pillage to get what they want. Like if you want something, might as well take it.
Yeah, sure, but aren't you hurting other people to do that?
I mean, if I didn't have any moral obligation, but why would I not do that?
You do have a moral obligation. A moral obligation is to not antagonize your neighbors and not hurt other people. Why would you do that? Like, well, I don't see a reason.
I mean, if there's no heaven, like there's no God, then I don't see why I should be held to that standard.
Special ed.
Oh,
I don't believe in a God, right? And I don't think I'm going to heaven. I think when I hold on. I think when I die, I'm just gonna rot in the ground, and that's gonna be it, right? But me, but me not believing in that, I still want to live a happy, healthy, productive life, and I want other people to live happy, healthy, productive lives. So because of that, I don't rob and kill people. Like it seems silly to me to say that this reward I'm gonna get when I die is the only reason why I'm not kidnapping 5-year-olds. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, if your natural predisposition is to want to help people, I think that's great. My natural predisposition, as most humans is to live pretty hedonistically, and whatever pleasures me, whatever benefits me, I'd probably go for it.
Do you
probably help my family too? Not necessarily. Like if they did me wrong, of course, but not necessarily. I would.
So that means special ed. If you didn't believe anymore, you wouldn't go around hurting people because you don't take pleasure in that.
Well, so I wouldn't probably like a polar bear just like I see a human kill a human. Probably wouldn't do that. But if he had some money that I wanted, I'd definitely kill him to get the money. But I wouldn't. Probably wouldn't just come for no reason. Probably not. Maybe, but probably not.
So special ed, you understand how that makes you a sociopath, right?
I mean, so would you call it a polar bear that just kills, or a tiger that just kills a random other organism and doesn't eat it? That's not abnormal. That's pretty natural for them to do.
No, polar bears kill other creatures to eat. They're hyper carnivores.
100%. They definitely kill other creatures to eat. But sometimes they just kill the creatures and keep pushing. Like tigers do that too.
No,
they just kill it. They do. I mean, this is just science. You can look it up. They just kill it. They keep it pushing. Not all the time. Like they definitely do hunt to eat. But there's definitely times that they just see something and say, I'm gonna just kill this shit real quick and keep it pushing. And sometimes it's a game. Like they're just playing, the game goes too far.
Okay, I just looked this up. Tigers do not kill just because or for pleasure. Like that doesn't happen.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
It's for like territorial. Hold on, it's for hunger, territorial defense, eliminating competition. That's why they kill. They don't do that just because they enjoy it. And that's not the case for like any social animal either. Social animals, like we don't do that.
Yeah. I just got rid of it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, man. It seems kind of, I don't know. It seems you don't see how this seems kind of sociopathic. Where you're, did he drop? All right, guys. I think he dropped. Maybe he'll be back later. But all right, y'all. I do appreciate y'all for being here. That was kind of. Oh wait, there he is. He's back.
Yeah, I disconnected for some reason. Yeah, I think I lost signal.
Never mind.
I mean,
but especially you don't see how.
Yeah.
You don't see how this is very very sociopathic. Where you would just harm others because he has money. Like, nigga, get a job. You know what I'm saying? Like,
even if it is sociopathic, what's the problem with that?
So social ed. Here's the thing, right? I understand that there are people who rob others, right? There are people who rob others, but they rob others because they want the money in order for them to go eat something, or they just want the money because they don't have any, right? Like that's why people rob others, right? Because they're gonna sell their things, or they're gonna use the money to fund their lifestyle or whatever. But that's more of a socioeconomic issue, because people who are in the middle class or upper class, they don't go around, with their guns robbing people. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't typically happen.
Well, so, it's not the culture of America now.
Right. So yeah, I'm saying special ed is that what you're talking about, like robbing people, that's more of a poverty crime, right? But if you're not in poverty, are you just gonna go rob people for fun?
Well, let me ask you this: have you played GTA and just killed a bunch of people and just like tuck in their car, crash it, didn't care? Wasn't that fun? Have you done that?
Like on a video game?
Yeah, on a video game, a simulation. Yeah.
As a simulation, yeah, but it's like no one's getting hurt, right?
Right. So you would do it if there's no consequences in the game. So if I felt in real life there was no consequences, it kind of makes it a little more similar to the game. Not the same, but it makes it more similar in the fact that I'm just doing it for fun, random bullshit, but with no consequences. So if you take away God in heaven, there's no consequences.
Two issues. Number one, even in the game, there is consequences. Yeah, I mean, because in GTA, what happens? You have 5 stars, right? The moment you throw somebody out their car, what happens? 1 star lights up. The moment you crash the car, another star lights up. The moment you start shooting, 4 stars lights up. You see what I'm saying? And then the police come after you. So even in the game, there's consequences. But in real life, there's also consequences. There's you could go to jail, and not only could you go to jail, you hurt somebody else. That person is traumatized. That person is injured. That person is probably on their last dollar. Or if they die, now you traumatize their family. You see what I'm saying? So there's consequences still, even without a God.
Right. I see what you're saying, but are those consequences that I care about?
You may not care about it, but there's still consequences.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So I'll change it. Consequences that I would personally care about. So in a video game, I don't mind being chased by the police. That's fun.
That's the point of the game. Bring more police. It's the point of the game.
Bring the chopper. Yeah. Bring the chopper. I want to see it. Make it lit.
Yeah, it's fun. If there was no heaven, no God. In real life, that's not fun.
Right. Yes. So if I could potentially get shot, won't respond, that may not be so fun for me. But if I'm in a Mexican cartel, I got the police under my thumb. I could take whatever I want. Nobody can stop me. The consequences I care about aren't there.
Yeah, but so again, it goes back to the folks in the cartel are sociopaths, bro.
Okay, so I don't see what the problem of being a sociopath is. What's the problem with that?
It causes harm to humanity.
Okay, but okay. I mean, if you're talking about collective humans, sure. But why would I care about the general human collective? Like, I'll care about my family, maybe. Maybe I'll care about my family, but if I have no more obligations, I have no reason to care about anything but what feels good to me.
The reason we typically care about the general human collective is because it affects us. Because if we were to if people were to go around simply antagonizing their neighbors, that's gonna come back on you. That's how social species operate. Like, we all have to survive with each other. Like for example, my lights are on in my house right now, right? I didn't go down to the power grid myself to make sure that he keeps running. Someone else is doing that. If we lived in a society where no one cared about that, we would live in a very fractured society, and no one wants to live like that. You know what I'm saying? So this is why we kind of care about what happens to other people. just common human empathy. Like, do you like to see kids suffer and like those commercials that we used to see with the kids with the big bellies? Do you like to see that type of shit? Like, no one likes to see that. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's a normal human thing. We have empathy.
I mean, so you're talking about like proper human society structure to be able to function effectively. But you asked me a personal question: would I care about being good if there was no God and no heaven? I would say no.
All right, so then that means that you would be not a part of our society. Not only that, that's very, very
well.
concerning.
It means I'd be a deviant to society.
You'll be a deviant, yeah. That's number one. But number two, that's very, very concerning. In my opinion, I think you probably need some help, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, because if the only thing holding you back, if the only thing holding you back is a book from the Iron Ages, that's kind of insane. You know
what do you mean by a book? What do you mean by a book from the Iron Ages? I don't know what you mean.
You're a Christian? Are you a Christian, Special Ed?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. My father went the wrong way.
All right, cool. So yeah, if you're a Christian, if you're going off the Bible, then that means that this book from the Iron Ages is the only thing that's holding you back from harming other people. It's kind of insane.
Not really. Well, so you don't really need the Bible to be a Christian.
No, you don't. Right. You don't really need the Bible to be a Christian, but that's not really my point, right? Because all it takes to be a Christian is to accept Jesus as your Lord and personal Savior, and boom, you're a Christian. But like the thing is, if that's the only thing, not like if the only thing that's causing you to not harm others is the fact that you believe that this Jewish guy from 2,000 years ago died on a torture device and then flew to the sky like Superman, that's what's keeping you grounded and moral. I don't know, man. That's kind of, you don't see the issue there.
I mean, the way you described it was a bit cartoony, but absolutely not. There's a reason that we have laws.
It's literally what happened. Like, Jesus was a Jewish guy. He died on a torture device, and then he flew to the sky. Like, that's what happened. Oh, wait. Yeah, he dropped again, y'all. I'm wait till he gets back. Let's see if he gets back, and then he dropped again. All right, guys. I do appreciate y'all for being here. Thank y'all so much for having me hit my gift goals. Who was that to help me hit my gift goal? I think that was Kay. Kay, thank you so much for helping me hit my gift goal. Sandra, I do see you. Skeptic, I do see you as well. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Yeah, he's back. There he is. You guys are amazing. I do appreciate y'all. All right. So yes, Special. So you're saying that the Jewish guy who died on a torture device and then flew to heaven, that's what's keeping you grounded and moral.
If you want to say that, sure. Yeah. Why not?
I don't know, man. I think you need some help, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, so what makes you want to say? Well, I have a question. You mentioned those children that they have the big belly from microbes, infecting them and like actually being hungry just by having a big belly, and you say you feel bad for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you do about that? Do you donate money?
Yeah.
Do you actually do anything about those?
Yeah, I donate because I'm actually on a subscription called Care, where $40 a month comes out of my account and it goes directly to those people to get help. And I actually researched that charity, and they actually do give the majority of that money, at least 90% of it, to the charity. So out of every $40 that I give, $39 is going straight to the people who need the help. Not only that, I actually go on trips, like for example,
mission trips?
Mission trip. I used to do that with my church, and now I just do that just because. Like, I give out food to the homeless just because.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad you said I want to know with my church. So if this church body is what's getting people to conform, like let's say people like me, you said I'm a sociopath, right? Based on what you said, I'm a sociopath. If that church gets people like me, sociopaths, to be good, loving people that help society, is that not a good thing?
No, it is a good thing. I didn't say it's not. It's a bad thing. It is a good thing. What I'm saying is that just you as a person, if this is the only thing that's keeping you from harming others, I'm going to tell you to keep believing in it. But I'm also going to tell you that you need some help, because why do you want to harm others? Like, that's that I don't get that.
I didn't say I want to. I didn't say I necessarily want to harm others. I said if I have no more obligations,
You would
and
harm
I see
others.
something I want, I'm taking it. No, well, I would harm others and in effect to get what I want.
Right. So you want to harm others. That's
But maybe
sociopathic.
I wouldn't necessarily just like shoot a dude just to shoot a dude, because like I'm gonna be wasting bullets.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This is sociopathic, bro.
Right. You could say that. It actually works out fine. But the thing with it though is that I don't see what the issue is there, because that's like saying there's something called unconditional love. Like that's not a real thing. We all do something because of a reason.
I get that. I get that you know that there's unconditional love. Like I may even agree with that. But what I'm saying is that if you're going around, your thought is that this God that I cannot prove is the only thing that's keeping me moral. Without it, I would harm others. That's kind of sociopathic. That's all I'm saying.
Well, okay, can you disprove God?
I don't have to. You're the one who's saying he exists.
Well. So you could say you don't have. So I feel like I see this a lot of atheists. That a lot of atheists, they say like, "Oh, it's not the burden of proof on me to prove God. I mean, to disprove God, it's the burden on you to prove God."
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that, like, I mean, what scientific backing are you using? Like you can't even disprove it if you don't have any scientific backing in it.
Scientific backing for what?
For why God at least is likely to not exist.
The other lack of evidence of something supernatural.
What do you mean specifically when you say that?
There's no evidence that the supernatural is a thing that or exists.
Okay, so okay, well, I guess let me ask this: like, what's your like your scientific background in terms? Because I'm ready to explain it to you, but I just need to know where I need to start from.
My scientific,
like, are you familiar with like philosophy and logic tables and truth tables, like geometry and all that stuff, or I don't know?
That wouldn't show me that a God exists. That just shows me like.
Well, no, I just actually familiar with that stuff. Like, are you familiar with if then because statements? Like, if A equals B, if
like,
A plus
like math statements. Yeah, sure. Math is great, but
yeah, I mean, math and philosophy are very intertwined. But yeah, so you understand truth tables then, and like negations and premises.
Right, but this doesn't get us to a God, in my opinion.
No. Well, it doesn't. You have to understand those to be able to make sense of it. Okay, so, based on so according to the laws of physics that are well established, nothing could be created in the world as we know it, in the universe as we know, in the existing universe. So anything that started the world, the first mover, had to be something outside of the laws of the universe.
What are you talking about?
Well, are you familiar with like with like how energy works and how energy is transferred and nothing is created?
Yeah, nothing can be created. Yeah, energy is energy can't be created or stored. But energy going to be transferred or converted to something else.
Right.
But
there is energy.
Right. But energy is simply a.
So it was created.
Energy is simply a property of a system. It's not a thing unto itself.
Right, but energy is present, so it was created.
Energy is present, so it was created. How do you show that to be true? It's kind of a tautology, isn't it?
Okay. If energy is there and it can't be created, then for some reason it was there, right?
Yeah, but again, the energy is a property of a system. It's not a thing unto itself.
Okay. No, I was just confirming that we're there. Okay, so if we're finding that, that's great. Okay, so we agree that energy is there and it cannot be created by anything in the known universe. We're good on that?
Nah, I'm lost. What are you saying?
Okay, do you know anything in the known universe that can create energy?
Yeah, us.
We can't. We just talked about this. Nothing can. Nothing. No. Okay, so yeah, and we need to be very specific of our words here, because create and transfer are two different things.
Right, I understand that. But this is what I'm trying to say, bro. Energy is just a property of a system. It's not a thing unto itself.
Well, this is why I ask, like, what's your scientific background? Because it's very hard to explain this to atheists when they don't actually understand the science, and then they say there's no science behind it. When I'm trying to explain the science to you, and you're misusing words in a way that makes the statements incorrect.
I'm not misusing words. This is literally what energy is, a property of a system.
You said humans create energy, and that's not how it works.
Right? No, I was wrong about that. Yeah, we transfer energy. Yeah, I get that. What I'm saying is that nothing creates energy. Energy can be created or stored because it's simply a property of a system. It can only be converted or transferred, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, okay, transferred. Okay, so energy is there, and so do we both agree energy is there, and nothing in the known universe can create the energy or could have created the energy? Are we in agreement on that?
I guess I'm not sure what we're getting at.
Okay, so in that case, if it cannot be created, then whatever started the energy being there is an external source outside of the powers of the universe.
Okay.
So if that's the case, that has to be a first mover. Like, I'm not trying to prove that like Noah's flood or that Abraham is there. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to say that God is even unlikely.
How do you know
without a scientific backing?
Special. How do you know this first movie you're talking about is a willful agent and not a natural process that we don't understand yet?
I didn't say it's a willful agent. Well,
you said God. A God implies a willful agent, bro.
It absolutely does not. If I meant to say that, I would have said that.
All right. So the God you're talking about is not a willful agent. It's some sort of physics that we don't understand yet. It could be that. Why call it God then?
So you could call it whatever you want. So it's usually referred to as the first mover.
All right, but
you can call it whatever you want.
What I'm saying is, like, if you're describing this first mover as whatever sparked the Big Bang to happen, that's fine, right? I don't have an issue with it. But what I'm saying is that why call it a God? Why put that label on it? Because that label does a lot of heavy lifting, at least the way that we understand it. There's no reason to put that label on it. It's simply a part of
sorry, I got kind of loud. My fault. My fault. Can you say the last 3 seconds again? I missed it. My fault.
What I'm saying is that if you're gonna label this first mover as simply whatever kicked off the Big Bang, right? What is the label? What is the label God for? Because God implies a willful agent. If you're saying that it's not a willful agent, then the label is just useless at that point. What is the label?
No. So what I'm saying is that I'm not implying that I understand that the way that the first mover moves. I'm saying I don't know that. That's again, it's beyond our level.
When you say first mover, again, you're implying something willful. If you're saying that it doesn't necessarily have to be willful, there's no need for the label.
Well, that's what I said. You could call it whatever you want, and people will believe whatever they want. That's why there's different gods that people believe in, and there's multiple stories that conflict and contradict each other.
I get you, Special, but you said that this would show a God, and then that doesn't necessarily do that, does it?
Well, so that depends on, no problem. That depends on what your definition of God is.
Right. So if my definition of God is this water bottle, are you going to say that God exists because it's water bottle?
Well, so in that case, your definition of God is extremely conflicts with what people understand God to be.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, and that's fine. It's just that if that's what it is, then it's kind of the connotation that you're using is really misplaced and not even near what people say. So if you say like,
I understand that. That's what I'm trying to say. You're just putting a label on something that we don't understand yet. There's no reason to do that. Hey, Special. We're actually over time. Because you we
okay,
no, all good. But
it was a good conversation. Yeah.
No, all good. I do. I'm gonna get to you later. All right. We'll go ahead and we'll speak later. I got you.
Okay. I'll see you later. God bless.
All right. Tangelo, I see you on my StreamYard as well. Give me a few minutes. All right, Tangelo. I gotta talk to somebody on my TikTok first, and then we'll go ahead and get to you. All right. We're gonna talk to Soul Theory next. Soul Theory, I'm gonna go ahead and put the time on the clock as well. I just need to know, are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
Yeah, 23, and we can continue on the third one. That's fine.
Okay, sure. If heaven doesn't exist, so would you still be a good person?
Yeah, I think you are. I think that kind of question doesn't negate the existence of heaven. I think that everyone has can be good in a sense that, well, we can provide what kind of purpose that a rational being has, and I think that the kind of fulfillment is to achieve certain natural end or eudaimonia, and by doing that, I think it's doing by virtues. Usually this theory is incomplete, and so that's why like there's most theories that are complete, such as like Iranian virtue ethics or Christian virtue ethics. I think that Christian virtue ethics is much more complete than the other views. So,
right, I don't know anything any of these things mean, but if heaven doesn't exist and you would still be a good person,
doesn't negate the existence though. I think that there's two different. I think there's two different topics.
I'm not saying that it negates the existence. I'm not saying that you being a good person means that therefore there's no heaven. I'm saying you being a good person basically makes heaven pointless, in my opinion.
That doesn't follow. What's the argument there?
Because what's the point of heaven?
That's a burden shift. I need to know the argument for you for the claim that you made.
Right. The point of heaven, as well as what people say is, or as far as what understood, is a reward for believing in God and being a good person after you die.
No, that's either you're talking to the wrong Christian.
Understood. So that's why I asked you, what's the point of heaven? That's why I asked you.
Well, no, that'd be a bird. Okay, again, you made the claim. I don't. So
I got you. Hold on. So I made the claim, and I told you what I meant, and then you said that's not how you understand heaven. Cool. How do you understand heaven then? What's the point of it?
Yeah, well, we can accept the burden shift. That's fine. Yeah,
it's
heaven.
Hold on, listen.
Do you want me to answer the question or not?
I'm gonna let you answer the question, but don't do that. All right. I didn't burden shift. I see, because my initial thing was this makes heaven pointless because, and I told you the way I understand heaven is that it's a reward for being a good person and believing in God after you die. You said I'm talking to the wrong Christians. Cool. That means that you understand heaven a different way. I got you. So under your Christian view, under your particular view, what is point of heaven and how does it operate?
Well, heaven is some sort of phenomenon where it's you act perfect desires with God. You act like perfect ongoing contrition with God. Yeah.
What?
I don't think that's a reward. It can be. It's a reward. Or it's a reward for eternal life. That's fine. But the way to get to heaven, there's different steps. I don't know why you're saying what for. I think
no, I don't understand what you meant. No, it's like I understand the words individually, but the way you put them together, I understand. What you said. You said heaven is a reward where we don't contradict God. I'm really lost.
No. Yeah, that's fine. It's an internal life.
Mm-hmm.
But within that area, you're acting with perfect desires or perfect contrition with God.
Okay, so eternal life with perfect desires?
Yeah, perfect desires. Yep.
All right, what does that mean?
Yeah, perfect desires be acting upon our virtues or the perfect attributes of God, so within his natures. So think of virtues like all the attributes of virtues. That's all being with perfect desires with God.
All right. So we're kind of repeating ourselves. So eternal life with perfect desires, and that means acting upon perfect attributes of God.
Virtues. That's fine.
But this doesn't really tell me anything. What does all this mean?
What part are you confused on? So I can reduce it down.
Right, acting upon perfect not you said value. I'm sorry, you said values. You said acting upon perfect virtues or attributes of God. That entire sentence.
No, so you're acting perfect contrition with God, and by doing those, right?
Right, perfect contrition with God.
You cultivate your virtues because virtues are the attributes of God.
So wait, listen. Perfect contrition of God. What does that mean?
I literally just explained that until you just interrupted. Yeah, it's acting upon virtues because those virtues or those attributes of virtues are God's nature.
Yeah, this is not telling me anything, bro. What does all this mean?
Yeah, so when you think of virtues, they're good actions or actions that would fulfill your character or provide fulfillment for your end, right? So think of all the attributes. So think of for example, bravery, honesty, compassion, all those are virtues.
Mm-hmm.
But those are principles. Those things are existence with God's nature. Those are principles that's in God, or those are the definition of God, right? So, yeah, that's all it is.
Okay, so in heaven, where it's eternal life in perfect contrition with God. So we'll go to heaven, and then we'll just be sitting there looking at bruh, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Well, you're presupposing a theory of time, right? I think there's different theories of times with Earth and with heaven.
What? I only said what you said. You said so when we get to heaven, heaven is basically a phenomenon of perfect contrition with God. Cool. And you said that means all of the perfect virtues of God, like compassion and et cetera, stuff like that. So when we're in heaven, we're just gonna be up there like just kind of loving on each other. Like, are there gonna be orgies and shit? Because like that's one of my virtues.
I don't know. I don't know how does that follow with that kind of. I think we're making a slippery slope, my guy.
It's not slippery. So I'm trying to understand what you're talking about.
Well,
like,
yeah,
what exactly is heaven, bro? Because you just keep saying perfect contrition with God and the attributes or acting out His attributes. Like, so what are we doing? Like, having orgies?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
No, I don't know how that follows, bro. Like,
I know it doesn't follow. So I'm asking you, what are we doing? What's going on in heaven? What are we doing? What are we doing up there? Like, we smoking weed? What are we doing?
I take the view that it's a mystery because it's the kind of thing, or it's the kind of, right, it's the way that we are, the being that we are, it's limited or it's separate within God's as well, with God's epistemology. So it's both different. So
gotcha.
Our view is just like I can just say it's a mystery.
Okay, cool. Gotcha. Let's go ahead and shift to before that. All right, because now I understand what you mean by when you say heaven. All right, so let's go ahead and shift it to before that. What do we do to actually get there?
How do we get there? Well, there's different ways. So obviously it's to fulfill the sacraments. Depends on what kind of normative view you hold. I think that virtue ethics provides the better normative view for Christianity. So what it means, like I said before, is just like acting upon virtues for your good care. Like, to be a good character is to act upon virtues, and then I think of virtues like good actions.
Okay. Let me ask it this way, because I think because I'm getting a little lost. I know what you mean, but I was just trying to get. I was getting a little lost there, and I think the audience may get me as well. Let me ask it this way. Me as myself, right? I'm studying to be a counselor because I see that my community, the Black community, does not have a lot of resources for mental health. So my compassion for the kids who are in low income positions and don't have access to mental health actually need that help, because a lot of them have PTSD or other issues that are undiagnosed. So my compassion is to help.
I cannot hear you, my guy. Okay, now I can hear you.
All right, give me 1 sec. Let me make sure that's here. All right, cool. Now he should be able to hear me.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, you should be able to hear me now. I was talking about the person on my StreamYard. Now he should be able to hear me. Okay, cool. So that's because of the compassion that I have and because of the experience that I had when I was younger, growing up in these type of neighborhoods, I want to help out other people from low income areas with their PTSD, with their trauma, et cetera, and that's part of my part of my purpose. Essentially, I want to help these people out. Would you say that is a good virtue to have?
Yeah, that's you'd be acting upon the virtue of charity. That's fine.
All right, cool. I don't believe in a God though, so would I still get to heaven?
Yeah, I don't take the view. I know, like most, I don't know if you interact with this. I don't take the view that the kind of judgment that I have is the same as God's. So I can tell you that I'm an optimistic universalist, which means that because of God's grace, I hope you can go to heaven, but that's up to God. I don't think that that's I think that's a sin, or I think that's like my duty or my evaluation to do that.
Okay, yeah, that's 100% fair. I'm not even gonna press you on that. That's 100% fair. All right, cool. So now I get you. Like I wasn't trying to be contentious with you, bro. I just wasn't understanding where you're coming from. So now I get you. So in your view, heaven is more of a mystery, but we're gonna be acting in accordance to what to God's nature, and us who are here on earth is not it's really up to God to say who gets to heaven and who gets to hell. But in your position, you're more optimistic. Good people, even if they don't believe in it, would hope would still get to heaven, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
All right, cool. No problem. I'm not gonna press you on that. All right, cool. All right, sure. I have no problem with that soul theory. I appreciate you, man. Come back anytime. All right.
All right, cool. Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. Yeah, see, that's simple, y'all. I just be trying to understand where people are coming from. All right, y'all. I do appreciate y'all. I do have Clippy and I do have Afro Jew. But before you guys go, I need to talk to Otangelo over on my StreamYard. I'm gonna go ahead and put him on the screen now. So Otangelo over on my screen, over on my StreamYard, and then Vaxman, you're in a queue, okay? So you're gonna be after someone on my TikTok, Afro Jew. So just go ahead and be patient with me. I gotta talk to Otangelo first. Otangelo, give me 1 second, all right? All right, guys. Once again, I do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. If you're watching me over on the Deconstruction Junction, thank y'all so much for the likes and the shares. You guys are wonderful. Go ahead and keep tapping that screen. If you're watching me over on the Volsy Thoughts channel, I thank y'all so much for being here. And if you watch me over on the Black Atheist, Agnostic, Skeptics, and Humanist channel, the Bash channel, I appreciate you there as well. You guys are amazing. You guys are wonderful. We're going to go ahead and keep the conversation going. I do have a gift goal up. If you're watching me from the Volsy Thoughts, go ahead and hit that gift goal. And if you watch me here on TikTok, hit that gift goal as well. Baptized in Christ, I invite you all the time and you never come up. I don't know why you never come up, but we're going to talk to Otangelo. Otangelo, how's it going, my friend? Are you at, well, you look like that you're about 18. Did you want to talk about number 1, 2, or 3? Otangelo, do you hear me? Maybe he doesn't hear me. Okay, he does. There you go. Hey, Otangelo, everything all right with your mic? Let me know.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Great. All right, Otangelo. Excuse me. Did you want to talk about number 1, number 2, number 3, or all 3?
Number 1.
Number 1. Okay, cool. Why do you think I should believe in a God?
Well, first of all, if you should not believe in a God, I would say that is entirely upon you. What I can do is I can give you the reasons why I believe in a God, but what you do with it, that's entirely your business. So I'm not here to try to convince you or to convert you or things like that. That's something that you need to do if you think you should.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Like I do get that, right? Now one person that I told earlier in this live is that whenever I say why should I believe in something is not on the auspice of, you know, you have to convince me or anything like that. Is more on what are the good reasons why this is this thing I should be convinced of. Like I gave the example of believing in like universal healthcare in the United States. I think that in the United States, I'm not sure where you live, but here in America, we don't have universal healthcare. So if we get hospital bills, the ambulance we got to pay for, all that good stuff. I think all that should be paid for by the government because it leads us to have better results. It leads to a healthier population, et cetera, et cetera. These are the evidences that I would give why a person should also support universal healthcare. So the position of, you know, believing in a God, I usually ask the same thing. What are those reasons? And what would you think? What would you say to that, Otangelo?
I get you. Well, first of all, I think that knowing about ultimate reality is one of the things which shapes our worldview. Mm-hmm. It shapes our values. It shapes our morals. And of course, it is very important because it gives us eventually also answers in regards of our meaning, right? So if there is a God, then he certainly had an intent, a purpose, why he made us, and then he should also tell us what the reason was. If there is no God, then we are just a happenstance or just an accident from the universe. And since I don't believe that the universe is conscious and has no intent, then basically if we are an accident, then our life also has no meaning. Besides you, I mean, you can say, well, I give meaning to my life, but it wouldn't be something external, right?
Right.
So
and the thing is, like in my view, that's fine, right? Like if the universe doesn't care about us and has no and doesn't give us any external meaning, so what? You know what I mean? We still give it to ourselves, and I think it still matters. You know what I mean? Like, if a God doesn't exist, I would still want you to live a happy, healthy life with your wife and children, or your husband and children, if you have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will still want you to live a happy, healthy life. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that really matters. I don't think we need something external to us to have meaning in our lives. And I do get it gives us values and everything like that, right? It's just in my opinion, we don't necessarily need that for values. You can get values from it, don't lie, but I don't think we need that for values. Does that make sense to you, Angelo?
Well, I mean, you can say I give values and meaning and morals, but they are subjective to what you intend by it. Mm-hmm. And if there is a God and he had an intent to make us, then of course it's an entire different discussion, because then there are real ought to be's. And ought to do's, right? Mm-hmm. And then we are ultimately responsible to one that created us.
Yeah, and here's the thing that I would say, right? I would say that even if we were to say this God does exist, that would still make things subjective, because just as you said, we have obligations to this particular God. So if that's the case, our morality would be based completely on what it wants, or what it says is right or wrong, which would make morality subjective to what the God's preferences. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we would still be in the case where morality is still subjective, even if that God were to exist. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, this is of course a philosophical question. About the morals, if they are imposed to God, or if he imposes them, if they are just based on what he thinks and what he wishes. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the Oipifro dilemma, I mean, the response is actually that the morals, they are given by God's nature. So mm-hmm. God's nature dictates what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah, I get that, right? God's nature dictates what's right or wrong, but isn't God's nature still subjective to God himself?
Well, you know, there are things that we just need to take as an axiom. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there are questions which we cannot answer, which we have just to take as a given.
Okay, I mean, I don't have much of a problem with that. It's just that in my view, that would kind of still make things subjective. But like I would say this, right? Well, I would ask this. I don't want to assume. So I was going to assume that you're a Christian, but I don't want to assume. Which are you a Christian, Muslim, or something else?
Yeah, I'm an evangelical Christian.
Okay, cool. I would say this, right? You know about the story of Paul on the road to Damascus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would then ask, why wouldn't God just give everyone that experience? Give everyone that experience in their own, because Paul spoke Greek, if I'm not mistaken. So Jesus appeared to him in the sky speaking Greek. So he can definitely do it. So why not just give everyone that experience and remove all doubt of his existence? And I don't think that would affect free will at all, because we can still say, all right, we know you exist, I just don't want to follow you. So it wouldn't affect free will at all. So why not just give everyone that experience and just remove all doubt?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I had actually recently an interaction where someone questioned me on this. And I mean, at the moment, I didn't have an answer to that question, but I think it is perfectly in God's intent, and it's fine that selective people, he gives an exceptional revelation. Mm-hmm. And Paul still had free will to say, no, I don't want, or I want. So God didn't entirely remove Paul's free will, even if he gave him a very, let's say, explicit revelation about himself. So he still could have denied.
Yeah. All right. So in your opinion, in your view, is just like God kind of selects who would get the experience and who doesn't, and all of us just kind of have to go on faith?
I would say that is something in God's freedom to do. But in a general sense, I would say that God, he gives enough light to those which seek him and enough darkness to those which prefer to live autonomously to him.
All right. Let me ask you this. What is your concept of hell? Basically, do you think it's like the eternal torture hellfire thing that John Hagee spoke about, or is it just a place that's separation from God?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And I actually believed I would say, since I converted when I was 18, now I'm close to 60, so over 40 years, I believed that hell was eternal. And then very recently, actually, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I made a very sophisticated prompt, which I used on AI. And I used 5 different AIs to answer the question based on this prompt. If the Bible says that punishment in hell is eternal or temporal or limited. And I was really surprised that all 5 gave me the same answer and very, very clearly. And they said, based on the biblical account, hell is not eternal torment. That is that punishment in hell is equivalent to sins committed, and it is temporal. So at the end of the punishment, there will be annihilation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any issue with that version of hell. Are we being like tortured or cleansed, or like we're just kind of there to be like we're just waiting around, or what's the? Because I do know when it comes to like Catholicism, there's like purgatory or something like that, right? But now I grew up Pentecostal Christian, and as far as evangelical Christian, at least in America, I'm not sure if you're in the United States or not. You're in the United States?
I'm in Brazil, but I am not
okay.
Brazilian. I'm Swiss Italian.
Gotcha. You're in Brazil. Okay, so in the United States, the evangelicals over here, they're all about the hellfire, brimstone, eternity stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's not temporal at all. That's the version of hell that I have an issue with, because why be tortured forever, eternally, for finite crimes? And not only that, why be tortured because I just don't believe in something that I don't have any evidence for? Yeah, you see what I mean, Atangelo? But if how you understand hell is that basically you're there only temporarily, the only question I would ask is, would we be tortured, or is it torture in a metaphorical sense and not in a literal sense, where we're kind of getting poked in the feet by a fork or something like that? Does my question make sense to you?
Well, I think that justice should be applied according to someone's deeds, right? So I believe that God is deeply just, that he knows us profoundly, and we have passages in the Bible where those which are saved, they will receive different kinds of rewards for what they did. So I think that it would be just that someone which had a very decent life and didn't commit atrocious crimes would receive less severe punishment than someone which committed heinous crimes or did a lot of sins during the stay here on earth. So I think God is just.
Yeah, I got you. All right, I mean, and the thing is, I don't have much of a problem with that. I would say my only nitpicky thing is that I don't think there should be a punishment for some things at all. Like, for example, me not believing, I don't think that should be a punishment at all. You see what I'm saying? Because I just don't have any evidence that is true, and some of it is apparently not true. So if I were to go there, even if it's going to last like 500 years, something like that, I'm not sure why I should be punished at all for not believing. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you know, there are people which explicitly reject the God of the Bible, and they don't want to have anything to do with him. And if he would say, no, you'll stay with me anyway, I mean, that would be against their wish, their will, right?
Exactly, it'll be against their will. I agree with that. And the thing is, if it's against it would be against their will to not be with him, but I don't think it would be their will to be tortured for it, right? Or anything like that. I mean, you already said that. You don't think it's anything about torture. It's more of a punishment, but you wouldn't really know how to explain that, or do you think it's more torturous, like how the American evangelicals say?
Well, I mean, I go with what the Bible says, and the Bible says that hell is a place of torment, of suffering, and it's not a nice place to end up there. But ultimately, I think that the Bible says that all will bow to Jesus Christ and confess that he is Lord. And I think this confession will also be done by those which opposed him here on earth, because they will recognize that his justice is righteous. So I don't think that their bowing to him will be something forced, but something which they will do based on acknowledging that he is righteous.
Gotcha. Now that I understand all that, right? The question then becomes, can we show that to be true? That's the only thing. But we are just about out of time, Otangelo. I did enjoy speaking with to you. I wish more guests were like you instead of people just kind of yelling at each other. But definitely come back in anytime, and then we'll talk about this more. All right?
Sure.
All right. Hey, I appreciate your channel. Thank you so much. You have a good day.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. Vax, just be patient with me because someone was in front of you, okay? Give me 1 second. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all for being here. Abba, how's it going? Yes, I am Haitian. You can go ahead and request and come on up if you'd like to talk about it. But yeah, guys, thank y'all so much. Conversations like that is what I enjoy. We just have exchange of ideas and we move on. I appreciate y'all. Keep tapping that screen. Do have a give goal up. Thank y'all so much for being here. We're gonna go ahead and talk to Afro Jew. Is that the name? Yeah, Afro Jewish. All right, Afro Jewish. How's it going? Are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
29 years. I'm from Africa, Uganda.
From Uganda. Okay. Yeah. You're part of the one of those Jewish tribes in Uganda?
No, I'm not Jewish. That's just my name which I use.
Oh, okay, cool. So not a problem. So did you want to talk about number 1, number 2, or number 3?
I would not have any opinion on number 2 and number 3, but I have an opinion on number 1.
Okay, cool. What's your opinion on number 1?
Yeah, so my opinion on number 1 is the question is like, why should I believe in a God? And the question seems to be right, but according to me, because what I know is that there is not only one God that human beings believe in. Human beings believe in different gods. So I'm going to talk about the God which I believe in. I'm a Christian. So I would particularly talk on my behalf, like, why should you believe in the Christian God? That's what I'm going to talk about. Now, I would like to say something. Sure. According to me, I believe that if you're from the US, not so?
Yeah, I live in the United States.
Yeah. Now, you believe, you know very well that maybe let me say Abraham Lincoln was a president in the US. But you have never seen him.
Okay.
But you know that he was a president just because you got the history.
Yep.
Because he died around 1860s. Now, you in your heart you believe very well that Abraham Lincoln was there, which means you believe in history.
Okay.
Now, according to me, I also believe in history, and I believe in the history that Jesus Christ was born and he died and resurrected.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so cool. Let me just pause you right there. All right, so we're all in agreement only up to a certain point, the resurrection, because Abraham Lincoln was historical, and we know he was historical because we have photos of him. We have people who interacted with him. We have him writing his own words down, right? Jesus existing. We have, the annals of the Jews, people saying that they saw him. We have Paul saying that he met James, the brother of Jesus, and we have embarrassing details about Jesus, and we have Tacitus who wrote about the resurrection. All good and well, right? Not the resurrection, the crucifixion. All good and well, right? So Jesus existing as a person is fine with me. I don't have an issue with that. The issue that I have is the claims around him. Let me just explain it this way. About 5 to 6 years ago, you spoke about Abraham Lincoln, right? About 5-6 years ago, a movie came out called Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. It's a movie that existed in America. The movie was about the president Abraham Lincoln on his off time killing vampires, going around the American South and killing vampires, right? So Abraham Lincoln is a real person, right? Was he going around killing vampires? No. So like that's the issue that I have when it comes to the Jesus story. Yeah, Jesus could have been a real guy, but did he walk on water? Did he heal the blind? Did he fly to the sky? None of these are evidence.
I'm also not talking about I'm not talking about the claims surrounding him. I'm talking about his existence.
Yeah, his existence is fine with me. I don't have a problem with that. But the claims of him resurrecting from the dead, that doesn't have evidence.
Yeah. Where I don't want to talk about the evidence of his resurrection and so on. I just want you to accept the claim or the history that he existed.
He existed. I'm fine with that. I don't have an issue with him existing.
Now, according to Christians, we believe in the Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
So which means himself, if you accept that he was there, that is the God that Christians believe in. So it means he existed.
Right, I got you. But him existing doesn't mean that he was a supernatural creature. He just could have been a regular guy that people made stories about. Him existing is fine. The issues. Hold on. Again, Jesus existing as a person is fine with me. I don't have an issue with that. The issue I have is the supernatural claims around him. We have no evidence that he walked on water, healed the blind, rose Lazarus from the dead, rose from the dead himself, and then flew to the sky after 3 days. We don't have any evidence of that. The claims around him are not evidence. Him being a person going around Palestine preaching, sure, that could have happened, right? But him flying to the sky like Superman, no. There's no evidence of that.
Yes, there is no evidence to that. But you have the right to believe or not to believe. That is your choice.
Of course.
Now, what makes something to be considered as divine? It is not everyone should consider that thing divine. I can decide to consider a stone to be divine. That stone becomes God to me.
Yeah, of course.
So God is not something universal that everyone should accept that this is a divine thing. I can choose another object, call it divine. It becomes my God. So that thing becomes God to me. You can also remain knowing it that this is a God which is believed by a specific person, Afro. Afro believes that this stone is God. So this stone becomes God to Afro.
Right. So Afro, I agree with that, right? Like this bottle of water can become divine to me, right? I can say I'm worshiping this bottle of water right now. But does the bottle of water actually have powers to heal me? It's one thing to believe it. It's another thing to show that it's actually true. That's my thing.
Okay. The issue is to prove that this thing is divine. That is your issue now. But you accept that gods are there.
I accept that what?
Do you accept that gods are there? Gods exist.
No, I don't accept that. I don't think gods are real. I don't think Vishnu is real. I don't think Olodumare is real. I don't think Yahweh is real. I don't think Zeus is real. I don't think any of them are real.
Like you accepted to me, you accepted that Jesus could have been there.
Yeah, I accept Jesus could have been a real person. I don't accept that he had supernatural powers.
Now, what considers something to be a God is if someone else believes that thing is divine. It does not necessarily have to be you.
Okay, so you're saying that if I say that this hand gripper thingy is divine, that makes it actually divine because I said so?
To you, you consider it divine.
All right,
I may not consider it divine, but to you, you consider it divine. So it is a God to you.
All right, cool. So y'all heard it here, y'all. So
you have the right. You have the right to believe in it, and I have the right not to believe in it.
All right, great. So y'all heard it here, y'all. I'm divine. I'm your leader. As you can see, there's many of my cult members in the comments right now. You see it, right? They have the tag on them. It says cult. They're all part of my cult. They're all part of my leader. You know, come believe in Volseyism, you guys, because I'm your Lord and personal Savior, the chocolatey God. Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're really going with, bro? Like,
if they believe that you are divine to them, then you become God to them.
Okay.
If I believe, if I don't believe, then you're not God to me.
Okay, Afro.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Afro, I need you to understand what I'm trying to say here. Someone believing something is divine does not mean that it's actually divine. We're talking about what actually is. I understand that Christians believe that Jesus was divine. The question is, was he actually divine? How do we show that to be true? You know what I mean? This hand gripper exerciser thing, I can say that is divine, but is it actually divine? Can it actually heal me? You know what I mean? That's the thing. So that's what we're talking about. What someone believes and what actually is are two different things. How do we show that Jesus is actually divine? How do I show to my cult members that I'm an actual person that can heal them? Yeah, I mean, what do I do?
Now, do you know where your claim becomes biased? You accept the existence of Jesus, but you do not accept the miracles he performed. So I do not have any other way to convince you that Jesus was divine if you do not accept that he performed the miracles that they claim that he performed.
Right, but that's the thing, Afro. You would actually have to prove it for me to believe it. Why would I believe it without you proving it?
How do I prove to you, and yet you do not believe what people who saw have said? Because for me, I believe what they say. I believe the claims.
Why?
For you, you do not believe the claims.
Right. So Divine, let me ask you a question. What if I were to tell you that I have $10 billion in the Bahamas, leave Uganda, follow me to catch a plane to Nigeria, they catch another plane to the UK, they catch another plane to the Bahamas, meet me in Nassau, Bahamas, on the beach, and I'm going to give you $50 million out of my $10 billion. Are you going to believe that claim?
I may believe and I may not believe. That's why even Jesus Christ has people who believe and there are those who do not believe.
Right, but Afro, I'm asking you, if I were to tell you that right now, are you going to believe me? Because I just said so.
I wouldn't believe you.
Right. So that's the problem that I'm having with the Bible stories. There's just people just saying stuff like, how do we know it's true? They could have been deluded. Someone could have made it.
Why are you selective? Why are you selective with the things that the Bible says? Because in another side, you accept that Jesus Christ was there, but then you don't accept the claims surrounding him. Why do you believe that he exists? And yet it is the same people who say his existence. They are the very people who say that he did this when he was on earth. You believe them when they say that he existed, but you do not believe them when they say that he did this and that.
Right. It's because it's evidentiary basis, right? You need a lot more proof to say that someone flew to the sky than simply saying that they existed and preached in Palestine. You need a lot more evidence of that. And like Tacitus, Josephus, Poly the Younger, all these people, they only say that this is what the Jewish people around the time, were doing around this time, and this was a person named Jesus who was going around preaching, and the people who followed Jesus believe that he did miracles. That's all they said. All the historians from Josephus, all of them, that's all they said.
Not one person. Many people saw, and they went out with the message and said, "This person performed these miracles."
All right, but Afro, when you say many people saw, right? For example, let me give you another example. In Greek history, we all know that Greece and Troy, they went to war over Helen of Troy, right? And in the Odyssey, right? They talk about Achilles being in a battle. They talk about Helen of Troy having the beauty of Aphrodite. They talk about Zeus interfering with the battle in the Odyssey, right? Now, these are people who said that they saw Zeus come from the sky and intervene in the battle. No one today believes that Zeus is real. So simply having a story where a bunch of people said that they saw something doesn't make the story true. You need to actually have evidence that it actually happened. And we don't have that.
Okay. I understand you now. What you need is proof. You don't believe stories. And that's why you don't believe in God. Because you want proof. And it is simple. You have the right to believe or not to believe. That is a simple thing. Because I cannot provide for you evidence. And there is no one who is going to provide for you evidence right now that really Jesus performed this miracle. You get the point? Apart from the people who spoke, even if someone has studied like what, they cannot prove to you that history.
Okay, cool. Not a problem. All right, Afro, I do appreciate you being up, and you have a good night, all right? Come back anytime.
Okay.
All right, guys. Hey, I do appreciate y'all for being here. I have another gift goal up. If you're over on YouTube, Vox, I'm gonna get to you right now. Okay, give me a second, Vox. If you're over on YouTube, if you're watching me from Deconstruction Junction, thank you so much for watching me over on Deconstruction Junction. You guys are wonderful. I appreciate the views, and I appreciate any gifts you would like to give me. If you're watching me over on the Volsy Thoughts channel, once again, the gift goal is up. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Keep the comments going. We're going to go ahead and get some more views up. We're going to talk to Vox next. If you're watching me over on the Bash channel, Black Atheists, Agnostics, Skeptics, and Humanists, the Bash channel. Thank y'all so much. Subscribe to the Bash channel. You guys are wonderful. We're going to go ahead and keep the conversation going. We're going to talk to Vox, man. Vox, you're probably going to be my last guest for tonight. Actually, you're definitely going to be my last guest for tonight because I'm about to hit 2 hours. Vox, you can go ahead and get off mute. Are you at least 18? And did you want to talk about number 1, number 2, or number 3?
Number 1.
I'm talking about number 1. Okay, cool. So, Vox, why do you think I should believe in a God? Actually, let's start with this. So which God do you believe in? Are you Christian, Muslim, or something else?
First of all, I'm Christian, but I was originally traditionalist in Kenya.
Okay, cool. You are a traditionalist in Kenya?
Yeah.
I think you should have stayed there, to tell you the truth. I think you should have stayed traditionalist. We shouldn't be giving up our...
Actually, no.
Yeah, I don't think we should be giving up our...
Okay, go on.
I don't think that we should be giving up our spiritual heritage for some foreign religions. But in your traditionalism, you said that you believe in what?
What's the question?
I was going to ask, why should I believe in the Christian God? But you said that you changed from being a traditionalist to something else. Was being a traditionalist like negative? What was going on in Kenya?
Well, in traditionalist, we were conditioned to believe that women were inferior and that women should be harassed and genitally mutilated. So it's not that African religion is that good as you might have as you might believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean there are beliefs that can be negative within African traditional religions. I don't deny that, right? But at the end of the day, like when it comes to Abrahamic religions, now you're over in Kenya, but here in America, it's kind of the same. They don't really believe that men and women are equal. So like Christianity didn't stop that either.
Well, that's not Christianity. That's their own belief. In America, it's more of Nicolaitanism. I believe that's the correct term, or lukewarm Christianity.
I don't think it's lukewarm Christianity, man, because the amount. I mean, because in America, you can't even be voted into office if you're not a Christian or a Muslim. You have to believe in something, because like 90% of our entire government is Christian. Like we've never had a president that wasn't Christian. Never. I mean,
considering the history of your people, that it was started by people who were very religious. When I say very religious, I mean extremely religious people. I expect that from such a country, such a history.
Yeah, I mean, the country wasn't started by people who were very religious. The founding fathers weren't very religious, but because of what happened within American history, it started to become. I mean, we're going off topic here, but let's go ahead and get back. Okay, let's go ahead and get back. So why do you think now I understand that under the traditional religion that you're a part of, they believe that women weren't equal, and that was a negative thing. I get that. Now, this is not a part of every African traditional religion, is it? Because there are some African traditional religions that do believe in equality between men and women, right?
First of all, you should know that African tradition is very strange and even worse than Christianity. I'm not even going to defend it. It's just bad. It's terrible.
All right. I mean, you're from Kenya, but over here in the West, right? Because of the slave trade, I'm sure you know about the slave trade, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So because of the slave trade, a lot of us went to the Caribbean, and in the Caribbean, the country of Haiti, we actually still carried on a traditional religion, which is voodoo. Now, Haitian voodoo actually does view men and women as equal. So we got that from Africa, from Western Africa. So that means that there are traditional religions in Africa that don't have that negative belief that women are under men. Would you say that's true?
Well, considering, let me not make a very general statement because there are over 1,000 traditions and religions in Africa. So I can't really make a general claim to everything because I don't have a monopoly of knowledge.
Okay, no, I'm not. That's fair. That's fair. I'm not gonna press you on that any further. That's all good and well. So my question then become, why do you think I should convert over to Christianity? Oh, I'm just gonna tell you what I am. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in a God at all. So I'll let you know that. Why do you think I should start believing in a God and the Christian one?
First of all, I don't want you to believe in a God. I want you to know Him.
Okay. What does that mean?
To believe is to have a bit of uncertainty to it, but to know is like you know a father, you know a mother. So I'd rather you know God than believe.
All right. So you want me to know God and not believe, but the only way for me to know God is if God were to reveal itself, right? If the God reveals itself, then I would have no doubt. So the best way for it to reveal itself is for it to reveal itself to everybody. Would you agree?
Well, no. You remember in the Bible, Jesus says, "Don't cast pearls before swine." God doesn't just cast Himself to everybody as people might believe.
Why not?
Well, the reason is that He's an holy God, and the sight of sin is really repulsive towards a holy God. And if God is holy, the claim is true.
I mean, here's the problem that I have with that, because He revealed Himself to Paul. Yeah. So why not just give everybody why not just give everybody what He did to Paul?
Well, that comes from another concept where God uses people, to work through others. Well, you know, Paul went all over the world preaching all over many places, and actually doing some very good work and doing very evangelical things.
Right, but I'm not sure if you understand what I'm trying to say here. What I'm trying to say is that what I'm trying to say is that when Paul was on the road to Damascus, Jesus appeared to him in the sky, and if I'm not mistaken, Paul spoke Greek. If I'm not mistaken, so Jesus appeared to us to the sky, to Paul, in his own language. What I'm saying is that God could do that to everybody and remove all doubt. Right, so why not just do that? And it wouldn't really affect our free will, because we could still say I don't want to follow you. So we won't affect our free will. So the question is becomes, why not just do that? Reveal Himself to everybody and remove all doubt that He exists. And those who don't want to follow don't need to follow. Why not just do that?
First of all, you must know God is a God who is past, present, and future. God knew the past, present, and the future of Paul. And He knew if he showed Himself to him, that would change the course of his life in such a manner. And because God has this monopoly of knowledge, He can choose anyone, considering their past, present, and future. So God normally considers, God knows that even if He appears to certain people, they won't change.
Right. But the thing is, though, that's what I'm saying. That's fine, but God would know that if He revealed Himself to everybody at the same time in their own language, that I would likely be convinced of that. So why not just do that?
That's actually a very good question. That question, can I say something before I give you a correct answer?
Sure.
First of all, I am a human being with about a 10-pound brain. How am I to comprehend a spiritual omnipotent being in his workings?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
So how am I, a human being, supposed to comprehend an immortal God who's omnipotent, all-knowing, knows past, present, and future, and supposed to argue with him with my mind? And I'm not even that smart.
Right. No, and I got you. I understand that. I understand. I do get that. It's kind of an unfair question, right? I do give everybody that question. You're not going to be able to understand, but I do ask the question for people to think about it more. My entire thing was that I think this would convince a lot of people that it was true if he were able to do that, right? And he just doesn't. And for me, that's problematic because it's like, why is he hiding? There's no reason to do that. But my entire thing is. My entire thing is this. Right now, I don't have any proof that any of this is true. Like Jesus walking on water, flying to the sky, God even existing in the first place. I have no evidence that it's true. And not only that, it's a foreign thing. It came from the Levant region. It didn't come from us. It didn't come from Africa. So it's like
I'd really like to answer that question.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Like
I'm sorry.
To go number two, but number two is somehow interesting to me because it has some meaning to me.
Okay, cool. So if hell is torture, why do I deserve that? Because as far as what I've heard, and as far as growing up in a black church, I'm sure you've heard the same thing.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in God except Jesus, your Lord and personal Savior, you're going to go to eternal damnation and suffer in hell forever.
Yes.
And the question is why do we deserve that?
Because of sin. Simply that. Sin.
Because of sin?
Yes, sin.
Okay. So me not believing means that we deserve to be tortured?
Well, the wages of sin is death. When you do something, expect a payment to it. Like you cannot eat a meal that you won't pay for. There's always a surprise to everything you do. Every small sin, every thought you think, there is always a price you have to pay at the end of the day. So why do you want to escape that price?
But see that's the thing. What we need to understand what exactly is sin in the first place, and how am I sinning? Because the only thing I'm doing is not believing something that I don't have evidence for, right? Because if I were to, again, everyone operates this way. Everyone needs evidence for something that they believe, or everyone needs to be convinced. You're not going to believe something just because I said so, right? So if I told you that I have laser vision and I can shoot x-rays through my eyeballs, you're not going to believe that because I said so, right? You need more than me just saying it. So it's the same thing with this Bible and the God and everything like that. So I don't understand what's so hard, what's so bad about me not believing something that I don't have proof for.
I used to think like you, but let me tell you something. One day I had a dream, and this dream I saw hell. And my friend, let me tell you, it wasn't as you people think. It was a place outside of time. There was no happiness, only sorrow. There was people on earth don't really pray that much. I prayed more times in hell than I did on earth. So as a person I have a testimony of being there, I can tell you it's not a very good place to be.
Let me ask. Okay, so you have a testimony of hell. My grandmother, who used to practice voodoo, she has a testimony of seeing the ancestors in the plains of Africa. Does that mean that afterlife is true?
You know, when you see it for yourself, and it's not a speculation or a story you hear from someone. You see it in your own eyes. You know there is a quote in Latin. It says "vanitas vanitatum," meaning vanity or vanities.
Right.
Everything in this world is a vanity.
I get it, Vox, but I understand that's your testimony, that when you had a dream of hell. I get that. My entire point of bringing up my grandmother and her having the dream of the ancestral plane of the voodoo afterlife is saying that just because you experience something doesn't necessarily make it true. I don't doubt that you had a dream of hell. I don't doubt that, but that still wouldn't make hell real, because people have dreams all the time. Again, my grandmother saw her ancestors in her dream. So which one of those are real? Is hell real, or the ancestral plane of voodoo? Which one's real?
Well, in American cinematography, they say that you know when you get there.
You know when you get there. Okay. All right, not a problem. Hey, Vox, go ahead and come back anytime. I'll be on Sunday. Sunday I'll be on with Black Atheist Rants, and we'll be talking about why Black people shouldn't be Christian. So you can definitely come back on that time. All right.
And also, I must add something.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing a misconception online where Black folk in America believe that European slavery was the worst. Actually, in real terms, the Arabic were the worst.
You're right. Absolutely was worse. All right. Hey, I appreciate you, Vox. Come back anytime. All right.
Yeah.
All righty. All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank y'all so much for being here. Good night. It was a very good night. We had a lot of good conversation. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and get some clips from this. I appreciate y'all being here. Shout out to y'all. Anyone who wanted to talk to me who didn't get a chance to, I do apologize. Come back tomorrow night where we'll be talking more. Once again, y'all, next week I'm gonna be with my sister at her baby shower. She just had them, so we're gonna go ahead and be at the baby shower next week, so I won't be on. But thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all for joining me tonight. Over on the Deconstruction Junction, you guys are wonderful. Keep liking. If you would like to talk to me anytime we have these, once again, the link is right there. tiny.cc/VolseyLive. If you're watching over from the Volsey Thoughts channel, thank y'all so much once again. Tiny.cc/VolseyLive. That's always where I'm at. And if you're watching me from the Bash channel, the Black Atheists, Agnostic Skeptics, and Humanist channel, the Bash channel, thank y'all so much. We are bashing on the religions, bashing on toxic beliefs. Go ahead and join me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on this channel. I'm going to try to go ahead and get more people to go live on it. You guys are amazing. Love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a good night. And always remember to be secure, be affectionate, be wise, be flexible, be thoughtful, and trustworthy. Be soft, all right? SAWFT.